Hi guys, welcome back to my Brave XVS guide. Now I'm gonna review Grim Lord Sakura. So is she worth to get? Okay, let's take a look on normal form. So of course, if you want to get her, make sure you make her into X+3. And on X+3, I can say that she gets some insane magic boost. Okay, so in total, she gets 800 magic. And yes, with that, she can reach 6,000k. Yeah, 6,000 magics, not 6,000k, okay? 6,000 magic, and that's quite insane because, yes, most top tier mage also like 6,000. For post, real Neophysician mage, she gets like 6,600. But again, because she is NVA, that means she is easier to awaken. And she also gets 150% Demon, Human, and Reaper Killer. So make sure you use her on that kind of battle. And on X+3, she gets AoE 130% Demon, Human, and Reaper Killers. So these buffs are really useful if you don't have, let's say, Bulwark and White Dragon Link. Okay, especially White Dragon Link, remember you need to have some support to allow her to use the killer buff on the first turn. This, you don't need to have support, okay, because this skill is a cooldown. So basically, as long as you have MP, you can give this killer to everyone. Okay, so this one is really nice supporting abilities. And for offensive, she's able to chain with Chaos Wave Awaken and Bolting Strike. But the bad news is she is a triple caster. Okay, you can unlock quad cast, but it is from her Brave Shift form, and there is a cooldown after you change into Brave Shift into, basically you cannot switch to normal back after you use Brave Shift form. Okay, so I can say let's treat her as triple caster on this normal form. So with that in mind, your chaining family should be Bolting Strike, because Chaos Wave Awaken usually for quad caster, but actually at this point Bolting Strike is also for quad caster. So with that in mind, I can say that her offensive power is not that great, okay? And if you take a look on the damage modifier, it is certainly not that great. Because sure, the Chaos Wave Awaken damage modifier is quite nice. It can be like 140 times AoE fire damage. So definitely nice. But for the Bolting Strike, it is only 80 to 95 times. And if you remember, Igni, Ibarra, they can deal like 180 to 200 per cast. So really guys, there's huge gap in terms of damage modifier. Okay? And for Bolting Strike, she can help your party because Spectral Webbing also give 1 AoE physical evasion. So remember that will be useful. She also able to support your party with like Stop, Stats Break, and Ailments Resist. And yes, not a good, but I think that's kind of half-ass. Okay, and for the Elemental Resist, this is useful for certain battle. Fire, Lightning, Light, Dark Resist. Okay, half of the resistance on this game, she can cover that using Grandis ability. So I can say that she can save you some slot on certain battle. Maybe for Dark Vision or Clash of Wheels, when you need this Elemental Resist. After she used this Elemental Resist buff, she can help with damage and chaining on the next turn. Not a bad character, okay? Quite slot efficient in my opinion. And also she is able to refill 25 Limit Burst Crystals. Not gonna be full for most characters, but that's quite a lot. Maybe half or almost full. Okay, and you don't need to worry about her Trust Master reward. I know there is a passive that increase your magic by 50% when you equip certain elemental weapon, but you don't need to worry about that, okay, because it is only 50% magic and 50% health. And yes, those are huge, but because she has very high true double hand stats, you don't need to worry because you can compensate that from equipping certain abilities on ability slot. Okay, simply focus on the best magic weapon you have. And for the limit burst, I can say that the normal for limit burst is useless, so don't bother. Simply use her ability that uses limit burst crystals. It can help you with damage mitigation and health barrier and AoE re-raise. Okay, so it is useful for threshold attack. Don't use her normal form limit burst. Rotation is pretty simple. Simply use the triple bolting strike or Chaos Wave Awaken Chain. So that's for the normal form. Now let's talk about the Brave Shift form. So on Brave Shift form, she is still amazing like the normal form because she still retain her insane 800 magic boost, 350% through double hand, and 150% demon, human, and reaper killer. So basically, the main difference between normal and Brave Shift form is the element. On the normal form, she is more like fire damage dealer, fire Chaos Wave Awaken Chainer. But on the Brave Shift form, she becomes dark Chaos Wave Awakened Chainer. Okay, so that's good. And for bolting strike, you don't need to worry because it is the same like the normal form, flexible. Okay, 80 to 95 times damage, which is not special, but yes, it is flexible. You can pair her with your physical chainer. But the greatest part about this form is she has access to quad cast. Yes, it uses setup, but yeah, basically she has access to quad cast, right? Unlike the normal form. And yes, on this form, her offensive limit burst is better. It deals 120 times magic, so it is not high, it is not low either. I can say that you can make her into a limit burst damage dealer, but I don't think you want to do that because first, she doesn't have any limit burst damage passive, which means you need to search 300% from your equipment, and that's doable, but probably quite hard. And she also doesn't have self limit burst damage buff, so you need to rely from other characters. If you bring, let's say, like Roka, Irid, then it is not a problem because their limit burst damage buff is AoE. But the point using Grimlord Sakura is because she is slot efficient character, so maybe she can replace your buffer when you need that stats break resist and stop resistance. But if in the end you need to bring buffer, then I can say it kind of defeats the purpose you use Grimlord Sakura at the first time. Okay, so the rotation is really simple. Simply focus on the Chaos Wave Awaken or Bolting Strike chain. Remember to activate your quad cast and you are done with her. So that's how you use Grimlord Sakura Brave Shift form. Now let's compare her to other mages. So when you compare Grimlord Sakura to Ibarra, I can say that wow, it's quite surprising because Grimlord Sakura, she can reach higher magic stats than Ibarra. Yes, it's kind of surprising. I checked this using FFBE equip, and yes, this can happen because Sakura gets insane 800 magic stats. Okay, but that's it. In terms of damage modifier, Ibarra completely obliterate Grimlord Sakura. Okay, so I can say it's kind of useless because just I can say the magic stats may be a little bit better, but because Ibarra damage modifier is much better, so yes, definitely not a competition for Ibarra. But if you compare Grimlord Sakura to other Neo Vision Awakened mages, I can say that Grimlord Sakura is probably the strongest one we have at this point. Okay, because the insane magic damage, magic stats, and then yes, the damage modifier we get from the X+2 and X+3 awakening. Remember that Ibarra can deal 140 times per cast. That's huge on NVA level. For comparison, if you remember, the most recent NVA mages we get is Citra. Citra Bolting Strike deals like 120 times per cast. Yes, it is only, let's say, 20 times damage modifier difference, but you need to remember that Citra doesn't have chain modifier cap. While Grimlord Sakura, she has 100% chain modifier cap, and if you equip Savior of Soul Lightning STMR she can reach maximum chain modifier cap, which result on maximum damage. Okay, so that's what good from Grimlord Sakura. Okay, so that's all for the comparison. My conclusion for Grimlord Sakura. So in the end, I can say that she is probably the strongest NVA mage at this moment. If you know other NVA mage who is stronger than her, please tell me on the comment, because from what I can remember, the most recent is Citra, and yes, she is stronger than Citra, right? And she is also very simple to use. Basically, you only need to triple or quad cast her abilities. Pick between Chaos Wave Awaken or Bolting Strike. And her Bolting Strike is also flexible, so it's good. Remember that she also able to support your party a little bit with, I can say, damage mitigation, auto re-raise, and stats break resist and stop resist. So if you need support on those areas, maybe better bring Grimlord Sakura instead of committing to bring full-fledged support, because after that she can help you with your DPS. And remember, for Dark Vision for Dark Vision content or class of will, when you want to finish the enemy as fast as possible, remember that she has AoE 130% for Human, Reaper, and Demon. Okay, this is good alternative, especially if you don't have White Dragon Link or Bulwark. Really nice. And the things I don't like is her Trust Mastery Word. It is basically useless. Okay, it is only useful for her, but again, if you want to reach better magic stats, this is not the weapon you should use. For the STMR, I can say it's quite nice because it gives you 50% spirit through double hand. Okay, something that maybe kind of rare on the past, but yeah, it's definitely useful. But again, it's niche, so I don't think you must obtain this too. It's nice to have, but not a must thing to have. And in the end, I can give her maybe like 8.5 out of 10. Okay, pretty nice pretty nice chainer and a little bit support for your party on some situation. But if you already have Ibarra, Igni, then of course she cannot compete. Okay, so I think that's all you need to know about Grimlord Sakura. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Bravex vs Guide. Bye bye guys!